For this video, I'm going to take a look at the Russell-Fields Pier located in Panama City Beach, Florida. I really enjoy going to Panama City Beach, and this is one of the reasons why. Right now you're looking at the Russell-Fields Pier, which is the fishing pier, scenic pier that is located right here on Pier Park Drive. You know, this isn't the first pier I've kind of taken a look at on this channel, but it's probably my favorite one. I think it's nicer than the one at St. Augustine, and it's significantly nicer than the one at Ford Island Beach over in Crystal River. Compared to some of the other piers that I've looked at, this one's pretty big. It's actually 1,500 feet long, and it sits on the Gulf of Mexico, which kind of makes it unique because being a gulf, the water is a lot more tranquil than the piers that sit over the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean, for example. Because of that fact, this pier just seemed to have a more chill vibe. It was a little more relaxed and laid back than the other ones that I visited. Compared to some of the other boardwalks that I looked at, though, there are some disadvantages. This is just strictly the pier. The other boardwalks, like at Myrtle Beach or Daytona Beach, had restaurants like on the boardwalk where you could actually eat, and there's no place to really eat here unless you're gonna eat one of the raw fish you just pulled out of the ocean. I guess you could bring, some snacks or everything, but it's obviously not the same as a sit-down restaurant. The views and scenery off this boardwalk are probably the nicest that I've ever really seen. I was here right around sunset, and it was just incredible watching the sun go down on the Gulf of Mexico. It was just absolutely beautiful. You'll notice there's a bunch of signage around. They're really particular about the rules. You can't stand on the benches. You can't use profanity. There are specific rules on how to fish, and you can't chum. I don't even know what the hell that is. That kind of stuff. There were some pretty neat aspects of this pier too. They had like a sea turtle rescue area. There was a section for those like tourist telescopes that you can pay to look through, and they even had like a little weather station. So all kinds of neat things. And because you go out so far, 1,500 feet is a long way out onto the ocean. There are just really incredible opportunities. Basically the possibilities are endless as a photographer. So if you're into that kind of thing, then I highly recommend this particular pier. The location is also just perfect. It is located right on Pier Park Drive, and that's like the main tourist hub for Panama City. There's all kinds of great restaurants and shopping, and that's where the Sky Wheel is located. There's a Dave & Buster's right there. Virtually all the major attractions in Panama City Beach are located right near the pier. The Funland Arcade is right down the streets. A bunch of timeshares and hotels are next door to this place. It's just really convenient. The pier is basically in the center of activity. The admission prices were equivalent to what the other piers would charge. It's about $4 to go out as a spectator, and if you're planning on fishing, then it'll cost you $7 to go out there. So what's the bottom line for the Russell-Fields Pier? I actually think this is my favorite pier in all of Florida. And there's just some advantages to being on the Gulf side instead of the Atlantic Ocean side. For example, if you want to go shelling on the beach, basically collecting seashells, you'll find shells that are a lot more complete, less busted up, because the Gulf tide is a lot easier on them. The Atlantic Ocean just pulverizes a lot of the shells, and it's just basically little fragments of full shells. But over here on the Gulf of Mexico side, you definitely can see them in better condition, and you can basically take a couple home with you if you want. Also, because you're on the west side of Florida, you get those amazing sunsets, and the sun only rises on the east side, so I actually think that if you want to basically hang out for magic hour, it's just a superior experience on the west side of Florida. So that's why I think I prefer this pier over the others, because there's something about ending your day with a beautiful sunset in Florida.